Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'll be discussing about Guardian Ariel. I keep getting questions about is she good and if they should summon. And I need to clarify some things about her because I don't want normal people, the casuals and new players to summon on this banner and waste all the yellow tickets that's really difficult to get. Now, I would rate her on the B tier and maybe up to A because mostly she's just used for PvP and long battles. So for stuff like hunts, story mode, and imaginary chasm, not going to be doing so well. For example, some people in the comments are mentioning that her damage sucks and they don't know why she's the double S tier. Okay, so I never said she was double S tier. I don't know what this tier is, but her damage is scaled on HP and speed, and in total, so after your speed and HP, it will calculate the damage is around 25%. So let's say you have like 27,000 HP for her and like 200 speed or something. So her damage will probably be around like 6,500. And every time she uses it, the scaling increases, I think, by like 20%. So it's not 20% of 6,500 damage, it's 20% of the scaling from her speed and HP. So the next hit might be from 6,500 to 7,600-ish or something. That's why when you're starting off and I tell you guys to summon for like Divergent Apathy or Felicia or something, those two units are way easier, and you can see the damage. They would actually do more damage and carry you through story mode than this unit. Like if you're using this unit and you're like level 10, 20, her HP is like what? 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. That damage will probably, her S3 damage will probably be around like 1,000, around 1,000, and probably even lower because that's assuming you maxed out this with skill mods, which I don't suggest because most of you probably don't even have any more skill mods. So even if you did get this unit, this unit's not going to do much for you. So she's mostly for like a counter to when you're fighting someone in PvP with like Springtime Celeste, Erica, Felicia, and maybe Bartholos or something, or like a healer. This would be technically she is really good in PvP because for high level PvP. So like if you're like level 60 and you have like 27,000 HP and she does like 7,000 to 8,000 damage, that is good damage. Technically it is good damage if you're fighting, units like Janice and stuff like that, but she's really meant for like long fights. Like you could use her like if you have Divergent Apathy and somehow she goes first and ignores defense and does like 7,000 damage, and then you could use like Divergent Apathy or any of your other units to like clear up the screen. But if you're using it for like regular content, like let's say Hunt or Imaginary Chasm, you're going to see that she's not going to do much damage even with the max stack. So let's say even if you have like 30,000 HP for her and 200 speed, and she does like 8,000 damage, and then you somehow stack her ultimate 3 times, and then she starts doing like 12,000 plus damage. That seems like a lot of damage regular for like PvP because most units won't have around like 12,000 HP to survive. But if you're doing stuff like hunts and Imaginary Chasm, where the enemies have like 200, 300,000 HP, you're gonna run out of turn limits before you can even kill the bosses. So This is why, even though she has ignore defense, this unit is not really for like, you know, other stuff. Can be used for like elite mode and stuff, but really it's like for your tankier type team. So you like if you have 2 healers, you have Guardian Ariel and like another tank or something, or support or damage dealer. It can be used for elite modes if you want to do like a you know, the 100 turn kill the boss on elite mode, assuming you can survive. And as you can see, in elite mode, you already know how insanely difficult elite mode is. So even if you have Guardian Ariel and she does like 12,000 damage, you really need like this won't even help you if you have like units with defense break, because even with defense break and this, it will not stack because she already ignores defense. So that's meaningless if you're trying to stack defense break with Ariel. So as you can see, her S3 does give immunity, which is useful. You know, if you don't have like Shani, Myra, or anyone that gives team immunity, this is also good as well if you need team immunity. Her S2 gives skill cooldown every time she gets hit, and then it doubles if it's a full screen attack. So technically, if you're fighting against Springtime Celeste, Erica, or counter Bartholos, you could technically use her ultimate every turn if somehow the enemy has infinite AoE attacks and constantly hitting Ariel as well. This also gives the team a shield, which is pretty nice. And her S1 only speeds up, so this helps her get more speed, so she could take more turns, so she could chain into her S3, assuming she's getting hit a lot. But when people see you use this unit, they're probably going to like counter her with someone like Odia, Akaoni, and you know, any unit that could give you like unbuffable or single target units that would just, you know, try to snipe her. But if you do summon for her, you should probably gear her with speed set, HP, defense, or injury, or have all 3 effect resistance sets. Now, in PvP, if you're fighting someone with injury or you're fighting a Hinamori, her damage will also suffer, because since her damage is based on HP, they're probably just going to use an injury set, or they're going to use Hinamori and, you know, slowly chip her HP away, and then eventually this unit will do no damage. But that's assuming you're using her for like defense. So let's say you're fighting against a Myra, a Joyce, a Bernice, and a Apostle, or a Divergent, a Penny. Usually, if you have this character and you're fighting someone like that with an infinite heals, this could technically be useful for those types of long, annoying fights. And in such a case, you would probably want an injury set on her, because Mara, Joyce, and Bernice is going to be infinite healing the enemy's team, and if you cannot kill them, like most likely you're not going to kill them. Like they're gonna have like 20,000 HP, 30,000 HP, and Guardian Ariel is probably by then max damage is like 12 plus 1,000 damage, 12,000 to maybe 15,000 damage. I don't think you can even get up to 15,000. I think it's like around 12,000 plus. And even if you're fighting this team, your team needs to be tanky as well, because if Apostle or Divergent Opani kills you, it's already over, because you don't have any more sustain, you have no more healers, you have nothing. So really, you're using her as a stall team against a stall team, and eventually you will be able to kill them if you have enough damage. If you don't have enough damage, you still won't be able to defeat something like Myra, Joyce, and Bernice. So really, you want an injury set. If you're doing PvP, you probably want an injury set. If you're fighting against a team with tons of healers or tanks, if you're fighting someone like Joyce, Apathy, or any squishy units, you can technically just use a regular HP set, speed, or defense, maybe even revenge set. And if you really don't want to get like debuffs and like you know that you're kind of slow, you can use an all effect resist set and have resist in the ring, so you'll have over 100 to 200 effect resistance depending on your gear, if you even have resist in the substat. And most likely, if you do have like 150 to 200, you're probably not going to get debuffed, and you're probably going to be able to S3 more often and be super annoying in PvP. Now you could mix and match your sets to HP, 2 HP sets and a defense, or HP and effect resistance, or defense and HP. But you should generally just stack HP set with a resist set. If you have the resist set, it's better to get resist set, because only if all your other equipments have substats with effect resistance, so that you could stack as high resistance as possible so you don't get debuffed. Effect resistance is probably the most undervalued stat in the game. People will tell you it's useless, it's garbage, you don't know what you're doing, you're just wasting stat at that point because the enemies have 200% effectiveness or something. But that's not always going to be the case. Most of you already seen my Seneca with like 120 effect resistance, and she's like resisting all the debuffs and stuff. That's going to help you in regular content if you're not doing PvP, because most likely the enemies only have around 70 to like 170 effectiveness to debuff you. So if you have like 170 plus, maybe even 200, you're most likely never going to get debuffed. There is a small chance, but most likely like 99% of the time you're not going to get debuffed. In PvP, this is why my healers have effect resistance, so they don't get all those debuffs like when you're seeing me do like hard content like in Imaginary Challenge. Sometimes they like triple resist. High effect resistance will help you resist all these debuffs, unless they have the ignore burst ability like Akaoni. You would just get constant debuff, but without the guaranteed burst abilities, you're probably just going to resist and be super annoying in PvP and as well in PvE as well, because getting the debuffs is really annoying, especially when it's those challenges that gives you penalty damage and everything when you have a debuff. So being able to resist more debuffs for tanks or healers or whatever, your damage dealer, is also a plus. But usually the damage dealers don't really need it that much unless like you're building them like tanky or something, or like if they have like a clone Dilgy, I think. Yeah, clone Dilgy. Like if you're trying to do like a one-shot build, you can have stack effect resistance and then let everyone like nuke her, and then she has 1 HP, and then they can't debuff her, so they cannot remove the immortality, and then you can just one-shot the enemy's team or something. Anyways, I personally wouldn't recommend a beginner or even a regular player that, if you're not a beginner and you've been playing for a while, I wouldn't recommend you summon on this unit, because your yellow tickets are so hard to get. And as you can see, I'm at 73 for pity. I wasn't trying to summon this unit. I was trying to summon Felicia, but I didn't get it. And I think you should just save your tickets for the way better units that's coming out in the future. This unit I wouldn't recommend so much unless you really like PvP and you want to use it for, like, you know, a counter to Springtime Celeste, Erica, and a whole bunch of AoE units, which in the future might be more valued if you're considering PvP. But if you're not considering about PvP and all that stuff, and you just want to do like regular stuff like Imaginary Chasm and Hunt, this is a no. Just skip this unit and save your yellow tickets, because this unit, it's not a unit that's going to be used in all your teams. Like, if you're comparing this, like if you're doing story mode and elite mode and stuff, you're gonna know the difference between the damage you're doing and how fast you're clearing it. So if you have Divergent Apathy and you're doing elite mode and you're trying to farm real quick, it's better to just get Divergent Apathy than this unit. This unit won't even be one-shotting anything unless you have them at like 60,000, like 24,000 plus HP, and the enemies have like less than 6 to 8,000 HP, because her damage, even though she ignores defense, which is pretty good, the damage won't be like if you're trying to do like the hunts and they have like 200,000 HP. You're not going to clear that anytime soon. And the longer the fights and the hunts, most likely you're just going to die, because the enemies are just so annoying and they do so much damage. For example, if you want to try to do the red hunt with her, the blue Ariel is actually better than this one. So with blue Ariel, her damage, let's say you have like 27,000 HP and then she gets to low HP. Blue Ariel with her skill 3 can do like 23,000, you know, how much HP she lost to the red hunt. This character, her damage will cap at around 12,000 plus, depending on how much HP you could give her and how much she can ult before you win or die. They both ignore defense, but Guardian Ariel is more for a full screen type damage, and Ariel is more for single target. Most likely Ariel is going to, the blue Ariel is going to kill any single target unit in one hit, just like Divergent Opani. If Divergent Opani and Guardian Ariel was to fight, Divergent Opani would probably win, because if you just burst with Divergent Opani, she does like, you got like 28,000 damage, she's gonna do like 27,000, maybe even 30,000 if your HP is up to 30,000. And she can heal back. If your Guardian Ariel cannot heal up or anything. And she doesn't provide like any buffs or debuffs like the original Ariel. So this version is more for like a support for immunity and damage, if your team can sustain for like longer battles. For shorter battles, you should probably get like, you know, the actual nuke type units. Anyways, I think her value is more situational. So if you like PvP and you want to fight against a lot of Ericas and Springtime Celeste and, you know, do all that stuff, then you can go ahead and summon her. But I'm just warning you guys that this unit is not going to be useful for like your hunts, your story mode. I mean, it can be used, okay, like I think she would be pretty good, okay, in story mode and stuff. But if you're expecting like the nuke damage and one-shotting the screen or something, it's not going to happen on the enemies with like 30,000 HP. This is only for like long battles, like maybe if you're stuck on story mode and somehow you're able to survive and infinite heal yourself, but you have all your damage dealers dead and you only have Ariel, Guardian Ariel left. Technically you can do that like chapter 10 if somehow you don't have a good damage dealer and you have two good healers like Joyce and then Bernice or something, Lima or Myra, and then your damage dealer and your carry dice, and you only have this unit for some unknown reason, technically you can slowly kill the boss this way by healing and ignoring defense by doing like however much damage damage you're making by then. So you should probably have like 15,000 HP, so that'll be like 3,000 damage every time you use her ultimate, and then like a 2,000 or something with her skill 1, or maybe even less because you probably didn't master the skill mods for this unit. Even then I wouldn't recommend that. I would probably tell you to wait for another banner if you wanted like a galaxy unit to use as a carry. Like this unit is not, I wouldn't suggest this unit at all. Like when you should start off the game, or even right now, I wouldn't suggest this unit unless you're doing PvP and very situational stuff. And I think I covered everything I wanted to say in this video about her. If you still have questions, you can just ask in the comments. And sorry if I started sounding weird towards the end, because I'm still getting used to talking to thin air, you know, like I'm just talking at the screen. Even though I'm talking to you guys, it just feels weird that I'm just talking to like thin air and trying to explain to thin air that this character is not good or whatever I'm trying to say. Anyways, see you in the next video, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment if you think this type of style is better, or should I just have the pros and cons and just that's it without the audio explanation and all that stuff. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.